we ready to begin?
Good morning!
My name is Misty.
Come on, Ike, it's time.
We would be honored if you would join us.
The greatest adventure of all time.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Come on, let's get in character.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Oh, come on!
Down.
Oh, this is pegging out. I'm gonna have to mix it. Better than Ezra, everybody.
So good.
Yep. They're from New
I
Orleans.
still just really dig this guy's voice. A lot.
I haven't seen them in a while.
I used to see them all the time back in the like late 90s.
Think we're gonna get kicked off YouTube for this?
Probably. Yeah.
Who cares?
Don't care. Totally worth it.
But we gotta wait.
And what's the name of that song, Isaac?
He's about to say it. Good timing. Okay. So that was a song called King of New Orleans.
King of New Orleans.
By,
which I'd like to be the Queen of New Orleans.
And so you are. Poof.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome back to Misty and Ike, everybody. I'm here with the Queen of New Orleans, Misty. I'm your boy Ike. And
Your
today,
boy Ike.
If you haven't figured it out, we're talking about New Orleans.
We are. I'm so excited.
It's Misty's favorite city.
It really is.
And Ike's never been there.
One day we're going to go.
Oh, it's the first stop on the Misty and Ike tour.
Yeah, I think it should be.
2022.
Like, let's start off on a good foot.
Right not.
Yeah.
Why not is what I meant to say.
Okay.
When is the thing that everybody goes to down there? Mardi Gras. When is that?
The thing that everybody goes
I blanked
to.
for a second.
Oh, it's so funny. You know, I lose track of when Mardi Gras actually is because there are so many other times of the year that they have parades and festivals. Because it's just a city that just loves to potty.
I love to potty.
Potty.
So
is Mardi Gras in March?
it feels like it's right close round to
I think
spring
March.
break.
Yeah, that's Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras.
Well, how about this? Let's start off with how
Here.
I bet we'll get there.
So Mardi Gras is Fat Tuesday, 47 days before Easter, day before Ash Wednesday.
Easter's in
April, so it's 47 days before Easter.
Good grief, who's going to do that math?
Well, it's like last week of February, first week of March. It's
Okay.
somewhere within there, depending upon what year it is. Yeah.
You want to know how New Orleans got its name?
I do. Tell me.
Okay, reading live here on the internet, it says, where did New Orleans get its name? New England, New York, New Hampshire. Rather than coming up with unique names, colonists had a habit of sticking to the hometown 2.0 formula. The English didn't have a monopoly when it came to these unimaginative naming conventions, though, and it was the Frenchmen who inspired the new in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. The area that now makes up New Orleans was native inhabited land before the French slide it up in there and claimed Louisiana in 1682. It was Governor Jean-Baptiste Lamoine who that was pretty good French.
That was pretty good.
Who would eventually decide to found a city on the first high spot inland from the mouth of the Mississippi River. A passionate man of French Empire and a bit of a bootlicker. Why would you put that in there? Lemoyne could think of nothing nobler than naming this fledgling city after the then regent of France, Philip II, Duke of Orleans. And so La Nouvelle Orleans was born. New Orleans. And I will never read on this show.
Do you want me to tell you a couple of the nicknames?
Yeah.
All right. So you will probably notice I have this necklace.
Uh-huh.
And I have worn this for a very, very long time. So in New Orleans, the caps on the street, what are they called? Street
caps?
You know, the things that like you
manhole covers?
Manhole covers. I was like, what is the word?
Well, they were originally called Mannheim steamrollers, but nope. Sorry, folks. That was a swing and a
in
miss.
New Orleans, they have a very, very cool design on them.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, you should. And it's because the city's nickname is the Crescent City, alluding to the course of the lower Mississippi River around and through the city. It's shaped like a crescent. So, in turn, they have, like, all of the things that are New Orleans themed have a crescent moon on them. And
like that?
Look, see, there's the moon and then the stars beaming out from it.
These decorative water meter. Oh, these are replicas.
Yeah.
I want to see the real thing. Hang on.
And so I have a necklace that has that on it because that's how much I love being reminded of how much I love New Orleans.
Oh. You wear a manhole cover.
I wear a manhole cover with a crescent on it for the Crescent City. Yeah.
That's so interesting. Do you think you'll ever have a home there?
I have looked, and it's on my Zillow searches and many, many, many times at homes there. And I would love to have a home there. Yes. It's to me, there is something that is absolutely magical about New Orleans.
Wow.
Yeah.
We should maybe get like a corporate entity down there.
We should
live there for free.
The only place I can really even say is maybe a little similar is Savannah, Georgia.
Now your boy Ike knows all about Savannah.
But I feel like you've got the Southern hospitality in Savannah. In New Orleans, that's replaced with an oddness. Like people, I think I feel so comfortable there because everyone's weird. Everyone's like some people still speak Creole and they talk to you and you're like, what the fuck did you just say? And then you look at them and they're like, it's okay, you don't understand what I'm saying. We're all weird.
Yeah.
Like everybody's just weird.
There is a lot of weirdness.
And it's totally accepted. And one of the other nicknames is the Big Easy, which is possibly a reference by musicians in the early 20th century to the relative ease of finding work there.
What was the first nickname?
The Crescent City.
That's right, because of the moons and stuff.
And then the other one is the City That Care Forgot, which I think that this is so cool. It's been used since 1938 and refers to the outwardly easygoing, carefree nature of the residents. The city that care forgot. Like, they just don't care.
It's also the city that never sleeps, and Sin City.
No.
And
that's Vegas and New York.
Oh, got
it. So
sorry.
No. Madame Lotterie.
You can tell who that is.
I know. No, I know the house.
This is the most haunted city in America.
It sure is.
I'm not even going to read that paragraph.
You know what? You don't need to. I can tell you a bit.
Be our New Orleans tour guide for the day.
Well, that's what's cool. I have a friend in New Orleans who is a tour guide.
No way.
He works for New Orleans Secret Tours, I believe is the name of it. And you make reservations ahead of time and you kind of like...
So they tell you secrets. The tour is not a secret. You don't have to
the tour is not a secret. They have a storefront.
Yeah.
But
you want to shout them out?
James at New Orleans Secret Tours.
James. Is that probably his email address too?
I am not sure.
If you want a tour of New Orleans,
I have his phone number
James.
if anybody's interested. But you can also, look for New Orleans Secret Tours.
Go meet our boy James.
Yeah,
tour.
He has not only taken me on a couple of the sanctioned tours they do, but he took my friend Michelle and I on an entire day around New Orleans to all the things that people wouldn't necessarily always get to go to.
Like the birthplace of voodoo in the United States?
Yeah. He is incredibly knowledgeable on the entire history and can tell you the history of every building in the city. And I remember we were standing in this park and he walked over to this circle in this park and he was like, now turn that way and look that direction. The reason that church is built right there is so that the slaves could come out here. They weren't allowed to go into the church, but they had to accompany their people. So their people went to the church and they worshiped here around the circle.
Oh.
He knows those kind of things about the history. And took me to some of the most incredible food spots in the world that are not the touristy, whatever.
All fried everything.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
So he took us to a lot of the quote unquote haunty places because New Orleans is known as one of the most haunted. That house that you put the picture up of Madame Lotterie, she was a slave owner and she is known as, she disappeared. Her house caught fire one night and when they went in, they found in the upstairs attic, I want to say it was 18 slaves that had been tortured to the point of death. and she had people chained up in her attic. And as the house burned, she escaped, and no one ever heard of her again.
Okay.
She was a character in American Horror Story in New Orleans. Yeah.
Okay.
And little known, well, not little known actually, Nicolas Cage later bought that house and lost it to a bankruptcy.
Nicolas Cage was bankrupt?
He had some problems with paying some taxes.
Interesting.
He also, if I'm not mistaken, owns a burial plot in one of the very famous New Orleans cemeteries. Because you know that's why the cemeteries in New Orleans, they have all of the, like, what are they called? The vaults that are above ground. Mm-hmm. What are those called?
Mausoleums.
They can't... For a long time, they buried people under the ground, but because of the sea level, they would come back up. So people are buried above ground. But I believe that Nicolas Cage still owns like a plot, and that's where he plans on being buried, is New Orleans.
Well, why don't you see if you can find his plot while I tell you about the mafia in New Orleans.
Oh, that's something I don't know a lot about.
It's got a lesser-known mafia history. What do you think when you think of mafia? Cities like New York and Chicago most likely romanticize depictions of mob life from movies and TV shows. You'd probably think of New Orleans as the sort of place where you might wake up from some pillow talk with a decapitated horse's head. Where is this going?
Well, that's from The Godfather.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the little-known facts about New Orleans is that the first serious mafia incident in the United States was recorded in the city.
Whoa!
When warfare... Wake up, Ike. When warfare broke out between rival groups of Italian immigrants working at the New Orleans docks in 1890, Police Chief David Hennessy, sought to put an end to the violence that was occurring within his jurisdiction. It was his job to uncover the truth behind the seedy battle for control over the area's fruit import business.
Interesting.
There's more to it, but...
well, if you want to pop this picture up.
Bam.
So this is Nicolas Cage's pyramid tomb.
That's creepy.
In 2010, he purchased 2 plots in the cemetery, using one to construct this very strange pyramid mausoleum. And nothing is buried in it yet.
Are those kisses? Or
yeah, because people know that it's his, and they go and, you know, they like him a lot. And
what does that mean? Oh, what does that mean? What does that phrase mean? No.
Sorry. Here, let's go back. Look it up. Omnia ab uno.
Okay. Where's Google Translate?
Uno obviously is 1.
Is that Latin?
I believe so.
I'm going to go back to us.
I can spell it for you.
Translate. Intertext. Okay. Uno.
Omnia. No, not Uno. Omnia. OMNIA.
Mm-hmm.
Space. AB. Space. UNO. All from one.
All from one and one from all. I wonder if that's why he has a pyramid.
Wait, I mean...
Wait, he was the one that did the... those movies, National Treasure, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he learned something during filming that he...
Interesting.
Because he seems like the type of actor that would like get his own personal historian and like learn.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. I get those movies mixed up with the Tom Hanks version.
Oh, the ones with Emma Watson?
Angels and Demons and stuff.
Yeah, the Da Vinci Code ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all blur together in my head a little bit.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Omnia ab uno to you, Misty.
I'm super, like, that's real cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew Nicolas Cage was weird, but like...
Oh, yeah, no, he's a super weirdo.
Yeah, he's a
like I said, he
weirdo.
bought this... Well, and Madame Lauderate, her home, it's like literally on one of the main streets on a corner. And so it was obvious that he was, buying that. People flock to it. It's like one of those things in New Orleans everybody goes by to see. Like it's a landmark.
Was he buying it for touristy purposes?
I'm not sure.
Or porpoises?
Porpoise.
You want to know how many people live in New Orleans?
I do.
According to the United States Census Bureau, the population of New Orleans in 2018 was 391,006. So a little under 400,000. The population was almost halved in the wake of Hurricane Katrina in 2005.
Yep.
And after more than a decade of recovery, numbers have begun to stabilize. So back in 2005, it seems like there'd be around 800,000.
Probably, yeah.
But, or maybe
a lot of people left and didn't come back. And
yeah. But that's a very low number. And to put it in perspective, the Los Angeles proper has 13 million.
Yeah.
And so don't at me with your traffic ever. Like,
I was on the phone yesterday with a friend in Arizona, and she was like, "Oh, I moved to North Phoenix, and I don't have to deal with the downtown traffic anymore." And I was like, "Nope."
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah. So I just want to go back really quick. Wait, did you have something?
No, I got nothing.
Okay. I was like,
I just looking at myself making this face.
So you said it was the birthplace of voodoo, and I wanted to go back and touch on that.
I don't.
Marie Laveau.
Boy.
You do. First of all, you don't even get to because you don't even know where it came from.
Don't get in my ears with that voodoo stuff.
Nothing about voodoo.
I'm just gonna put
Voodoo
my
came
voodoo wall
from
up.
the Haitians. Voodoo was a way of them communicating with their ancestors.
Okay.
That's it. And so Marie Laveau was the grand poobah voodoo mastress, queen of everything. And she was born and lived in New Orleans and also passed there in New Orleans. And you can still go to her final resting place in one of the cemeteries. And she... she is definitely New Orleans legend, and many people still also leave offerings at her grave to the voodoo headmistress. Yeah.
Copy that. I was just looking up Grand Poobah.
Grand Poobah?
Yeah.
You like that?
Well, it's...
What a Grand Poobah is?
A Grand Poobah is... a person who is important or high-ranking.
Yeah.
He once played golf with the Grand Poobah of their company, an extremely pompous person.
From my understanding, she was a bit pompous about her skills and her abilities.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Fred Flintstone was the Grand Poobah of his dinosaur club or whatever.
Yeah. But before we wrap up, one other thing that I want to throw in there, a lot of people miss this when they go to New Orleans because it's not Bourbon Street or whatever. One of the really cool areas in New Orleans is Storyville. It's kind of the historic red light district, and it was also kind of the hotbed of all of the jazz musicians back then. And now sometimes it's kind of just referred to, I think, as the district, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, it's the old red light district, and it's Musician's Corner, essentially. And it's a really, really cool place to go.
I'm looking at the map of New Orleans.
Oh, pull it up. Pull it up. Pull it up.
So this is New Orleans proper. So we are southeast of Baton Rouge.
Yep.
If you widen way out, it's on the little fingertip of Louisiana there, the boot tip. Lateral with Houston, straight under Mississippi, near Biloxi and Gulfport. And it's just basically all water.
Yeah. Which is why it was devastated in Katrina.
I bet we could probably buy our own island in or around New Orleans somewhere.
Let's do it.
Misty and Ike Islands.
Yeah. You mentioned the water, and I think we'd probably be remiss to not mention.
That's right. It's underwater.
That, if you have any interest whatsoever in Hurricane Katrina and the things that happened to New Orleans when the levees broke by Spike Lee, it's a 6-part documentary, I believe, and it is probably one of the absolute most interesting things that I have ever seen in my life.
Really?
He interviews all of these locals, and it's over the course of a certain amount of years following the devastation of Katrina. And so you get to watch someone's life as it kind of evolves after what happened there. And it's, he also then goes into the reasons that the levees broke and the failures on the part of all people involved in it. And also not to get political about it, but he gets into the fact that we left New Orleans to deal with this themselves. And the aid that was offered was not anything on the scale that it should have been. And interestingly enough, there's also there's a HBO show called Treme, which was based in New Orleans. It actually has some of the people from Spike Lee's when the levees broke as characters playing themselves in Treme.
Wow.
It's a really cool tie together.
What year did they build the levees?
Oh,
What? Because it was Army Corps of Engineers, right?
yeah.
Did they build the levees in New Orleans? Sorry, folks. Sometimes the questions just come up. Before 1717, early attempts to control the Mississippi River consisted mainly of fortifying the river's natural levees. 17 to 1727, the French built the first man-made levee system near New Orleans. Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah.
They're old.
Yeah.
That's before
But
that
they
predates American.
Yes. And
Solidified
there
history.
should have possibly maybe been some upkeep that was a little better.
Little
than
bit.
What there was.
A little bit, but nobody likes to fix anything till it's broke.
They didn't even want to fix it when it was broke.
Yep.
It broke and we just said, well, sorry. Sorry, New Orleans.
Yep.
You know, one of our most storied cities with such rich history.
It almost became an old Olympic site or
It
an
sure
abandoned
almost-
amusement park.
It sure almost
which is
did.
two of
You
our
could
former episodes.
Go back and watch those episodes and see what could have become.
Yep.
Anyways, well, I feel like I could talk for hours, but we need to wrap it up because we went long.
We did. But
Sorry.
thanks for listening, everybody. To Misty's voodoo.
Sorry about my video and my witches and my Madam Lottery.
Boo, boo,
Bird.
boo, boo, voodoo, boo, voodoo,
Anyways.
voodoo.
I love New Orleans. I love you all.
She does. She does indeed. And we love you guys. Thanks for listening to all 21 minutes of this episode.
Sorry.
And, well, if it's not Friday,
We'll see you tomorrow.
for what are we talking about?
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery. We're just going to shit around and
We're
talk
just
about
going to
Sean
shit
Connery.
around and talk about it.